Good morning, guys. It's afternoon, isn't it? It's about 1 o'clock. It's on Sunday, January the 11th, 2015. I'm not actually going to put this video up until tomorrow, Monday, but I wanted to make it today. I'm in one of my daughter's rooms, and you can't really see behind me. It looks all white, but it's a very snowy day out, and I like the lighting. Today I am doing a reading and prediction for Drake. Now, I didn't really try to match Drake up with anybody. I just want to talk about Drake as a character, as a person, of who he really is. A lot of times when you look on the blogs, they want to make you believe one thing about somebody. They want to paint a picture that he's such a playboy or ladies' man, and he's always picking up the pieces where other guys fall down with girls and all of that. But he is way more than that. He is such a deep and rich individual that that you're never going to be able to really know that if you rely on blogs or the TMZs or all these different type of places. But let me just tell you about him. We know that he's Aubrey Graham. We know that he is biracial. His father was black. His mother was a white lady, Jewish lady. His father was from Memphis, Tennessee, and the mom was Canadian. They divorced when he was young. He had lived in one neighborhood, like I said, a bit of a rough neighborhood in Canada, and then they eventually moved to a rather upscale or wealthy area, but he wasn't living a wealthy life. They just lived in that area. I guess it's what they could afford or what have you. It was a duplex, so they lived in like the downstairs, and another family lived in the upstairs. His time was split between his parents. His dad was a musician, and so is his uncle. His uncle is Larry Graham, of all people. Now, if you're too young to remember that, let me just tell you, he's with used to be with Graham Central Station, I think it is a group, but he went out on his own, and he made one of the biggest hits. And it was from the 80s, and actually it was what I call a wedding song. My sister and many other girls got married to that, and it's called One in a Million. It is a great song, and maybe I'll even put a little sample in the video so that you can see it. He's still relevant to me as of his uncle, that is, Larry, but he was influenced by music, but his mom was an educator. That's an interesting mix. And what that boils down to is that he could be a music teacher very easily. And not just because of his parental choices in life, but of who he is. Let's take a look at him. His birthday is October 24th, 1986. So if we divide his birthday into his month, his day, and the year, you can see that as a young kid, he was October, which is 10. That boils down to 1. He was an only child, and he behaved like one. Spoiled, selfish, bratty, willful. He liked to lead things. He liked to be in charge of things. And I think probably because of the divorce and his mom, and just his mom and him, he had a lot of that. I think him and his dad wrestled a lot simply because of the fact of him wanting to come in and call shots for himself. That may not have been as positive outcome as it could have been. His dad did a couple of stints in jail, a couple of short ones, one for 2 years, one for 3 years. So that made him have to be really independent. But he was capable of it being independent and leading and having extra focus. He wasn't so much focused into the academics, I would say, but he was focused in life and where do we go from here. His middle time of his birthday, which is right now, is a 6. Or it's 24. And what that means is a couple of things. First of all, together that adds up to a 6. So what's important to him is family. And taking care of family and taking care of those around him. That's going to play a major portion in his life, all his life. but it's a 24. So 24 means that he loves relationships. He really does. However, with that 4 being in there, 24, 2 and 4, that person has to be right. Not just somebody that you can lay down with easy enough. What guy isn't going to say no to that? He's no exception there. And then also he's a Scorpio, so he's got that sensual side. Sometimes they try to paint Scorpios as extra sexual, but you know, if you're offering, he's going to take it. But the woman that's going to be his is going to have to be right on time. She's going to have to be educated, preferably with some degrees. I could see him with like a person who is in the legal world, a lawyer, maybe a judge even. But it's got to be somebody that's degreed up, that's super intelligent, that is super charming, super loving and accepting of his biracial sides. They're going to have to love his mother, because he loves his mother. And they're going to have to be really good with those aspects of it. On the outside to us, though, he looks like a 7. And a 7 individual, they like to do things by themselves. They like to study things like science or religion or the arts. In this case, he studies music. He's not just a musician with a record deal that looks all right. This dude is a master teacher of music. He used to listen to people like Aaliyah so that he could sing, because his dad told him there was no rappers who could sing out there. And so he wanted to be that rapper. But he learned the art of singing and phrasing and songwriting and moods and melodies from listening to Aaliyah. He said that he didn't want to be, listening to a lot of male influences simply because he felt like he would sing like that. And that's true. That is very wise for him to have figured out that if you want to sing about women, loving women, being with women, pain of women, relationships, what have you, you have to learn from a woman. And so that is exactly what he did. And he continues to study the art of music. He's a fan of Kanye West. I don't know if personally he is, but musically he really enjoys him because Kanye takes risks. Hold on a second. Give me something to drink. That's my daughter. Give me something to drink. But Drake is complex on many levels. He is a Scorpion man. So he understands things about, he looks things in the long way. Like, how long will his music career last? What will he do when it's over? He looks at life and death. He's not afraid to go into the thoughts of those things. He enjoys being by himself. He enjoys his own company. He keeps a small circle of friends around him. And he is loyal, as the day is long, to this circle of friends that he keeps near him. That song he sings with, he talks about no new friends, that's really real. He's had a tremendous amount of life experience, both the good and the bad, whereas he understands life. He understands who to be loyal to. He knows who he wants in his circle. He knows when people are trying to get next to him or whatever. We know that right now that Lil Wayne is having some issues with Young Money. Drake is not going to be quick to jump off of that boat. It is not because he can't get another record deal. Oh, they would kill to have him. Any label would kill to have him. He's such an artist, a true artist. It's because of his loyalty that he'll stay, even when he should leave. But don't ever underestimate him. When his loyalties are done, he'll get up and go. That's just who he is, plain and simple. He's not afraid of change. He doesn't like a lot of change. He's had to deal with a lot of change and back and forth and ups and downs in his personal life growing up. So he does really like stability and sameness. And like I said, he studies the art of music inside and out. Now, for him overall, his life path was a number 6. So that says that he's really all about taking care of his family members in whatever way that he can. He is not one that's just throwing his money around. I don't care if you see a couple of change or this and that there, what have you. In reality, it's about making sure that his parents' homes are paid for. Maybe move them to new places. He's about making sure that they can drive. He's about making sure that they are taking care of himself. He's kind of a real nitpicky about, he's just that kind of guy that's going to come in and take care of you and bring you the chicken soup and all of that once he takes care of his business first. This year is a 6 for him, so it's going to be his kind of a year where family is going to be important. Taking care of those that are close to him is going to be uppermost in his mind. Somebody around him may come into an illness or they could pass, but he's going to be right there all the way with them even until the very end, because being a Scorpio person that he is and being a number 6, that says that he's going to have to learn to cope with letting go of people through death. He knows that they're going to transition over. They're not dead per se, but they're going to transition over. So he's going to be able to be a strong pillar in his family, because people look on him and they really do look on him and depend on him. They know that he is really in his real self with the people he loves. He's very soft-hearted. He's very kind-hearted. You just have to stay out of his personal business too much and give him time to himself. He really is moody. He's reflective. He's articulate. He's quiet. When he's with the fellas, he likes to party and turn it up as good as the most. And he likes to tell his stories of things that happened on the road or things that's happened to him over his time. But who he really is himself. He has not changed into anything new or tried to put on a persona that he's super sexy or he's a mega millionaire. He might be all of that to other people. But to himself, he's just Aubrey. And he's fine with that. And to his friends, he's just Aubrey. He is not anything else. And these friends, they know that they can turn to him for whatever. Now, he knows when to say no. Don't get me wrong. He knows when to draw the line. He knows when enough is enough. But as far as getting close to him and knowing him, that's a hard thing to do, because he knows and understands that this is a business. And that this can change too, because he learned that from being on the show Degrassi, that came and he was on there for a while and then it went away. And he knows that music can do the same thing too. He not only knows it from having experienced it, but seeing it with his family members. Just like I said, Larry Graham was a huge superstar and then he wasn't. So he knows that it comes and it goes. Hold on, y'all. Now, people want to try to speculate things for him. Was he with Rihanna and in a relationship, or was he with Nicki Minaj and all that? With Nicki Minaj, that's his sister, his homegirl, his fam. Do they flirt and tease and things like that? Absolutely, you would. If you had somebody that you went to high school with and you guys stayed tight, but they're not trying to settle down and you were really good friends, you would be funsy, flirtsy, and all of that. So they definitely have that type of relationship. Is he trying to jump her in bed and stuff like that? No, he is not a sex maniac. With Rihanna, yes, they did try to do something. The thing is that Rihanna likes a lot of space and freedom. Not necessarily to be by herself, but she likes to turn it up often. And everybody likes to turn up from time to time, including Drake. But all the time, no. Remember, I told you, for him to be his lady, you got to be damn near perfect for him. And you have to be somebody that he is proud to bring to the house. And, excuse me, I got something. But even though he, you know, he cares for her, or he cared for her, or what have you, but she showed herself to be not somebody that he would necessarily want to bring home to mom. Because, you know, just like in any other world, in anywhere, a son is really reluctant of who they're going to bring home to their mother, because they know mama is going to have something to say. And in his case, we in that, I think that his mom is Jewish lady. She's more particular. And I think that he has grown to be that person that, that says that it's got to be just right. He likes the best of things, the best food, the best drinks, but his relationship has to be right and ready for kids. Scorpios want you to commit everything. They want everything, including your first kidney. And it's got to be somebody that's willing to even give up their career to make him their main focus. And that relationship that he's looking for, he only wants it once. He doesn't want to be married to 2 or 3 or 4 different people. He wants that one person that's just right for him. So as far as with Rihanna, that was more of a fling. Maybe they thought that it was going to turn into more than that. But because she is very independent, she likes to turn it up. She wasn't so much like she still had such strong feelings for Chris. She just had strong feelings for life. She's in love with life as a whole. And if you caught up in her tornado, her hurricane, that means that you have to be right there with her every step of the way, every picture, every event, everything. But then she can go and do other things that she wants to do, and you can wait at the hotel or whatever until she gets back. And he knew that that was not him. He enjoyed her. They enjoyed each other on many levels, but not to say this is it and this is the one. So don't be surprised to see him with other ladies in the industry getting on, and him enjoying their company and things as well. But the person he's going to be with is somebody that's not into the industry at all. Not even on the backside, because he is a regular guy. He is a great regular guy, and he wants a regular woman, but he wants her to be educated and refined and classy and sophisticated and all of that too. Someone that he can feel that can make him proud. He wants to have someone he can run out and introduce her to anybody, and he's going to feel proud, almost like showing off. Like some people want to show off their dog, and some people like to show off their cars or their outfits. He wants to show off his lady, and so it has to be someone that's really different and really special, because he gets women throwing themselves, and he takes advantage of that. And why not? He's a young man, but it'll have to be somebody special. But right now, he won't have time for a lot of that. And although this year he's done some moving around and things this year, so he might have even met someone that's a soulmate for him. This would have been the time for that, but we won't know at this point, because he's not going to reveal all that to us, not until he has to be sure. Otherwise, it's his bed buddy strictly. Anyways, if you like that, please comment, thumbs me up for sure, and subscribe. That would be great. Now, I've said this before. I keep saying it on my predictions. You are welcome. I'm not charging at this point, so if that's what's holding you back, but I can certainly do a numerology there for you. Just give me your birthday numbers, your month, your day, your year, and then I'll be back in touch with you. Like I said, there's no charge. It just gives you a chance to look at yourself, since the year is still going on. And I'm continuing to offer them free at least through January, and see if I get anyone with the courage enough to take us on. Have a great day. I'm going to be back recording later. I'm going to do The Real Housewives, and I'll put that up tonight, and this one will come up on Monday. Have a great day, guys. Bye.